Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel for episode 7 on our Haut-Beyleron Let's Play with me, Farmer Murphy. As you can see, it's early the next morning. We'll check our fields here. Everything looks fine, no sign of weeds. No pallets have shown up yet either, but they're going to be close if we go in here and check at our greenhouse. We're at 383 liters. I believe our pallet will show up at 400. And we do have a little bit more honey, it does appear. And our lettuce, we know, are 400 liter or 200 liter pallets, I should say, and we're close there as well. So things are ticking along. We may have some pallets delivered later today. If we look at the calendar, we're still in harvest season, but we don't have, if we go and look at contracts here, a whole lot of contracts, but there was a pretty good plowing contract, so I picked that up. I see there's a cultivating one here. We may take that one on. But we're going to take care of that plowing contract. But in order to do that, we need a plow. We don't have one. So I'm going to jump in the Deutz-Fahr here and head over to the shop and see what our options are. So I'll meet you there. Here we are at the shop. So we'll go in here and see what they have for plows. Now there was just the other day a new option added to their stock, and this is by Black Sheep Modding. And it's actually a subsoiler, but it shows up under plows, like a chisel plow. And if we look, it's 6 meters and requires 260 horsepower. And I do like this type of plow versus the standard plow, the furrow plow. And it takes quite a bit less horsepower. If we look at 6 meter furrow, it takes 360 horsepower to pull, which we don't have, but this 6 meters takes 260. Now we can upgrade it to a 9 meter version, but although we have 330 horsepower, it's fairly hilly around here, so I think we'll stick with the 6, and the standard colors are fine, and I think we will purchase that, and when we get a bigger machine we can upgrade it to the 9 meter version. It should work pretty well on our farm, so we'll purchase that. And if we look at our map here, you can see field 10. That's where our contract is. It's up right at the very top there. So I'll get hooked onto our plow and head up the hill, and we'll see how this works. Okay, we're up here at field 10. It's actually just about right across from the farm shop where we deliver our produce. It's sitting right there. Now a subsoiler, it gives you a plowed state with a cultivated look. I've tried on my other map to fulfill contracts, plowing contracts with the in-game subsoilers before these ones released, and it wouldn't allow me. It wanted a actual plow. But this one is, although technically a subsoiler, it's under the plows menu, and it's from the description, I should have read it, it says it leaves a plowed state. So, whoops, lower not fold. So we'll give it a try, but I'm thinking it will, it should work. Yes, and indeed it does. It is leaving a plowed state, and we're not getting any errors, so we're good to go. And you can see there is a bit of a hillside, or a bit of a slope to this hill, and it seems like the Deutz-Fahr is no issue at all pulling it, which is good. Now I do have a weight on the front of the Deutz-Fahr. It's a pretty good sized tractor. It might not require it, but we had of it, so might as well put it on. Yeah, it had no problem at all coming up there, and with a 6 meter width, this isn't going to take too terrible long to do. And I think I'll probably will just carry on and do this myself. I have been using workers a lot more lately since the updates. That was one of the things they changed. Oh, let me get a very good straight start on that one. Um, that they haven't been taking as much of a bite to use workers, so I've been using them a lot more. But we don't have a lot going on right now. Not a lot of contracts I want to get on, so I'll probably just carry on and complete this myself. So those Deutz-Fahrs are nice looking tractors. I do like the Warrior edition. Although I've not seen one in real life, the Warrior that is, we do see a few Deutz-Fahrs around our area. Starting to see some more fence. Fence was something until recently had never seen around, but seen a few big fence around now. None of the tracked ones, but Series 9s. I was looking at that field we want to purchase, and it actually has soybeans in it. And I think they're not ready to harvest yet, but I think when that field comes up ready to harvest, wherever we're at, we'll probably borrow the money and buy it and keep those soybeans, because they pay pretty good, up very close to $2,000 per 1,000 liters. So it would go a long ways to paying back the loan. And we have a fair bit of crops now in storage so far, like 90,000 liters of potatoes and sugar beets. And I think the sugar beets, from some of the prices I've seen, we ought to be able to get close to $400 or $500 per 1,000 liters of cut sugar beet, and that's pretty close to twice what you can get for them normally. So that's another, like, that'll be like $40,000 there, or euros I should say. Oh, and I see I forgot to change it over to the euro symbol. Sorry about that. It is on dollars. I try and remember to do that when I switch between maps, but I forgot. In general, I think with the crops we have in storage, and if we keep working our funds up, come the January time frame when they're the best time to sell, we'll likely be able to pay off the loan, I'm thinking, or very, very close to it. That will mean we'll probably have to borrow money again, but not as much, because we can start by leasing the vineyard type equipment we need initially. We certainly won't use the whole field for vineyards. We'll take and put some in on the one end, and the rest we'll use as a cereal crop field or of some sort. Well, I'll carry on with this, and I'll bring you back in when we get it done, and we'll see what we'll be up to after that. Catch you in a little bit. I thought I'd bring you back in. I don't know that we've done any in-cab work in the Deutz-Fahr yet, and the in-cab on these are pretty nice, pretty fancy schmancy. I was going to say, if you're interested in what all these displays do and what they tell you and how they work, if you go to Millennial Farmer's YouTube channel, and go back to his early videos, you'll find that he goes through the functionality and pretty much every screen on monitors in a John Deere. He is a John Deere farmer, but it, oh, excuse me, I assume it's pretty much the same functionality that would be available in all the tractors. So if that's something you're interested in, that's a good place to check that out. It's Millennial Farmer on YouTube. Pretty nice view in here, nice sunroof. We do the exorcist swivel here. We can see our plow back there working away. I do tend to favor John Deere's because of my experience in the real world with them, but we'll definitely be doing a Let's Play at some point that'll have a ton of John Deere equipment on it. But that doesn't mean I can't enjoy other manufacturers. Because I do like the looks of these Deutz-Fahrs, and that's just a pure aesthetic thing. I think they look pretty wicked in especially in the Warrior configuration. I don't know if that's something you want in a tractor or not, but I do like them. But I also like the Massey's quite a bit. When I play on English maps, I use the Massey's quite a lot. I do like them. Anyways, I'll carry on with this. I just thought I'd bring you back for that, and we'll catch up with you in a bit. Well, we're back at the farm. I completed the plowing contract on field 10, and there was a small plowing contract also up at the, up on the hillside there. Field 17 it was for 1,600 euros, so I completed that as well. There isn't a lot available for contracts, but I did borrow the equipment to do this cultivating one. And then I guess we'll have to look at these baling contracts. Now, if they were both the same, or both silage or both hay, I would definitely not do them. The only reason I hesitate is what I normally do with baling is if I see 3 silage ones or 3 hay ones, I'll borrow the equipment for all 3, then pick and choose between the equipment sets for the equipment I like the best. There's some pieces of hay equipment I get along with better than others, but in this case, they're 2 different ones, silage, one's hay. But hey, we might give it a go. The part I hate the worst is those. They usually give you those round bale, you know, carriers that you put on the 3 points on the front and the back. And I really just don't get along very well with those. But hey, we'll get that cultivating one done, and then we'll see where we stand then. So I'll bring you back at that point. Well, seeing as we hadn't used a New Holland yet in FS22, I thought we should take a look at it in action. This is a T7, I believe. Yes, it is. New Holland's another brand. There's a fair number of around here where I'm located. In fact, one of my neighbors has a T7, and I think it's actually a Blue Power livery on that one that he has. It's a blue gray though. It's not the deep blue that they had in game, but it's not this kind of, well, it's not. This really isn't a royal blue, but it's not this shade of blue either. It's really sharp looking tractor T7 that he has. I don't know if I explained before. I think I might have, but when on my gameplay, I tend to be brand loyal on a particular farm. So I've done New Holland farms, Case farms, John Deere farms, Deutz-Fahr farms, Class farms, that kind of thing. So I try to stay brand loyal. Just my preference, but is also if you what I've observed in the real world, most farms tend to be, at least on the power equipment side, fairly brand loyal, and I imagine that's because there's spare parts that can be shared. Excuse me, that sort of thing. Oh, that's interesting. That's different. It's kind of got a like a panel in the middle of the wheel. So obviously a newer model year, I would say, than what we had in FS19, but pretty nice interior. But anyways, on Lone Oak, I did a all New Holland farm, and actually there was a Blue Power T6, not the Giants one on FS19, but someone maybe Blue Ogden modding. I don't recall had done. Man, did I like that tractor! Nice size, 185 horsepower. I did a lot of all my yard work, actually looking after the cattle and stuff, and a lot of my haying work with it. But what I really liked about it was it had super oversized balloon tires available. Yeah, it was a nice tractor. It was my favorite New Holland, and I would pick it up for a yard tractor on other maps sometimes too. But seems to be doing the job. They don't have any blue power options that I've noticed anyway so far, but hopefully they do give us a blue power option. All right, well, we'll leave it there. We'll get this done, and I'll catch up with you later. Okay, we're back at the farm. That cultivating job is done. The equipment's been returned. As you can see, there's a little rain in the forecast there, but we got lucky. There is another cultivating job. I borrowed the equipment for that, so I'll go ahead and get that done. Otherwise, I would do that baling one, but shouldn't really be doing that one. And actually, I should check. Was that a silage one? That silage bale. So I guess that one wouldn't be so bad to do in the rain. So after this cultivating, or maybe what I'll do is get a worker doing the cultivating, and we'll get working on the baling. How's that sound? All right, let me get that set up, and when I'm ready, I'll bring you back in. As you can see, we're down here at the shop, and we have all our silaging equipment set out here. And it's these guys right here. We're not exactly friends. At least on FS19 we weren't. I really struggle with these, so we'll see how it goes. I said if I have a large number of contracts to do, then sometimes I'll lease the auto stacking trailer so I don't have to deal with it. But I will get set up here to do the mowing, and I'll bring you back when I'm ready to start that. Okay, we're up here at the field with our mowers. Now, one thing I will share with you, what I normally would do is I mow like this so that the rear mower is grabbing, some extra grass from the outside. Lots of times these mowers have a windrow option, but I've got the field or the help window open, as you can see, there is no option for windrowing. And so it'll just leave the grass layout there. Now, depending on the windrower we have, sometimes we can pick it up that way, but I like to try and get a little extra grass if I can, because you're always going to have some left in the baler. So just to hedge your bets, and when it maximizes the product that you might have to return. So we'll go ahead and I'll mow it like I generally do, and we'll take a gamble. We should be able to pull some in with the windrower. Just with the field this size, it might be a fairly small windrower they gave us and we may not be able to get all of it, but with a larger windrower we would. But anyways, enough yakking about that. We'll get things started up here. It's already unfolded. it started up. We can actually lower it down. A little bit fiddly, I know. Oh, lower. Okay. I think that's the extra grass that rear mower is cutting that we can take advantage of. Hopefully. Stop, and I pick the front mower. Oops, I wanted to pick it up, not disconnect it. And we'll carry on. Lift the back. Oh, having a bad day today. It's days like today that I miss my side panel. Things like this were much easier with it. Actually, we'll try and pick this up here. A little bit fiddly, but we'll get there. This doing this with a rear mower that will windrow works excellent, because then everything is on your shield already. That's why I say I like to pick up several contracts and borrow all the equipment, and then I just use what's going to work best. Yeah, then have a coughing fit in the middle. That really helps. All right, you guys can laugh. I'll do all the cursing. This cough really is a nuisance. It takes, if I've started just recording if possible, and I start hacking, I'll delete it and start over. So it's sometimes taken me quite a while to get a recording done, because I have to keep starting over. Other times I just cut it out or carry on. I've got everything set up to start a Let's Play on No Man's Land. I'll be starting that one shortly. And there's no contracts on No Man's Land, obviously, and so something I've never done before, because we didn't have that option on PlayStation before. We're going to try and kick things off by using some factories. So see how that goes. But hopefully we'll be recording the first episode on that one later today. All right, well, I think you get the idea. I'll finish this up and I'll bring you back in when we get the windrower up here. Okay, I'm back up at the field with the windrower. I forgot to mention that I do have a worker working on that cultivating contract with borrowed equipment. But see, this is a situation, I'm not sure this is going to work or not, because our tractor is actually not sitting on the field. Our windrower is not big enough to have the tractor on the field and pull that extra grass in, but we'll give it a try. They say with a large windrower, you can get away with it, but we may get, oh, maybe it's going to let us do it. Nice. Didn't think it would. Well, that's great. So I can pull this over onto the field, because we certainly wouldn't be able to bale out here if we windrowed out here. The baler would definitely say that it was reserved for contract work only, but looks like windrowing is going to let us do it, so that's awesome. We're going to be able to grab this extra grass. I mean, the yield on this edge grass is not as good as that in the field, but like I said, we're going to end up leaving some behind in the baler, so it just helps compensate for that. You know, something I've never tried, I've never actually tried to use a worker to do any of this on baling. I've always done it, all the work myself. Now, if anybody has any comments, if I'm not showing enough farming or field work, or showing too much, just let me know in the comments. I'm trying to balance it. Oh, I messed up there a little bit. Yeah, I'll come back and clean that up after. Yeah, so as I was saying, if anybody has any preferences, just let me know. I wasn't too concerned about showing what was going on with contracts, unless it was something that we hadn't done before. But I wanted to make sure and show all the, you know, more of what we're doing on the actual farm. Like I say, any feedback, just put it in the comments. All right, I'll carry on with this, and we'll bring you back into the next step. We're back at the field with our baler, So let's get this grass baled up. This little pottinger baler, I've noticed, I've used it before. It has a really nice pickup on it. I hope there's a big Impress one that has the bale turner on it, for it's a baler wrapper, and it has the turner. It lays the bales on end so they don't roll around. I I like using that, but its pickup wasn't all that great. You know, you end up leaving bits behind. Hopefully they've put that same pickup. Now we're going to come down here and unload, because one thing about round bales, they're not fun to chase all over the countryside. Looks reasonably flat down here. Yeah, so if they use that same pickup they did on that pottinger baler as this one, as far as width goes, that's really going to be a nice unit, because that was my complaint, that look how wide that picks up. Nice. This baler unfortunately doesn't have the ability to change the different bale sizes. You get what you get, but we borrowed the equipment, so beggars can't be choosers. Yeah, this is a few more bales than I thought we were going to get. Make the battle with those bale movers a little more interesting for sure. Well, I'll carry on and get the rest of this done, and I'll bring you back for the wrapping. Before I brought up the wrapper, I just thought I'd show I've got everything baled. As you can see, I've got 235 liters of grass in the baler. Um, That's certainly more than we gained from just doing the verge of the field. So doing that verge likely gave us an extra bale to our credit. So that is why I do it. So I'll meet you back up here with the wrapper. Okay, I'm back with our wrapper. We'll go ahead and get these wrapped. That'll turn them into silage bales. Might have gotten these, excuse me, a little close. And I have to admit, I think I'm going to jam out. I think I'm going to rent the auto stacker, lease that. We have 11 bales here. With the equipment they provided, that'd be 3 trips down the hill and back. And like I said, I've had some bad experiences with those. It's going to cut into our profit, but we'll still make money. So I think I will chicken out this time. But it's nice. It looks like we're going to get these bales wrapped up in a safe state even before the rain starts. So that's some good news. I wonder if it'll pick this up from the end. Kind of stacked these a little close. Wasn't thinking about that. Ah, it does. Nice. I think this might be a safe place too. Hopefully. Yeah. All right, I'll carry on with this. I'll get this done. We'll get these picked up and delivered and complete this contract. And by the way, I did borrow equipment and do another cultivating contract over on Field 22, so that's going on as we speak. Well, as I said, I chickened out and bought the, leased the auto stack. So we'll get these bales picked up and hauled down to the biogas plant, and we'll be able to complete this this contract. And that, like I said, quite honestly, is why I like to pick up 3 or a bunch of these, because I do lease the auto stack, either the square or the round, depending on what other equipment is supplied with the contracts. Oh, that one's rolling away on me here. Yeah, I got him. The price is not too bad. It's only $2,500 to lease, and in most instances I can get everything picked up in an hour, even if I've got 2 or 3 fields to do. And I brought our tractor up here just so we got some more horsepower. Does make pretty short work of it, I have to say. All right, I'll meet you down at the at the biogas plant, and we'll get these sold. Well, we're down here at the biogas plant, and we'll deliver these bales, see how we do. Hopefully this works. Maybe back just a little bit more. Perfect. Yeah, we did okay. So in addition to the contract, we got an extra 6,000. Nothing wrong with that. So with that, I think we will call it a day on the farm. That last contract, cultivating contract, is just about done. But that was all in all a pretty good day. Our funds went up. We gained a plow. we did our first silage contract. So I think we'll call it a day and an episode here, as we showed a little bit more field work than we have done in the past. So hopefully you found it entertaining or something useful. If you did, please give us a like. I encourage you to subscribe if you're enjoying it, and hit the notification bell so you get other posts. And until next time, thanks for watching. Farmer Murphy out.